Introduction. Joint Hindu Family, JHF, is a unique socio-economic institution governed by Mrjsbhatti law. At the helm of this institution is the Karta. The Karta is the manager and the head of the family. He occupies a unique position, sui generis. In Hindu law, the term Karta is derived from the word Kri, to do, meaning the doer or the manager. He is the person who looks after the family property, income, and the welfare of the members. While he resembles a trustee or an agent in some respects, his legal standing is much wider. Who can be a Karta? Traditionally, the senior-most male Kopasana, member of the family, is the Karta by right. The post is created by the family's consent and can occasionally be held by others, including adult females. In modern practice, default selection, generally, the senior-most male Kopasana, by agnatic relationship, becomes the Karta, junior member, if the senior-most member is unfit due to old age, illness, or mental incapacity. A junior male member can be appointed as the Karta by the unanimous consent of the Kopasanas. Female members. Traditionally, only males could be Karta. Following the Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005, daughters are now Kopasanas. In the landmark case of Sajata Sharma v. Shri Manu Gupta, 2016, the Delhi High Court held that the eldest female member can also be the Karta. Fiduciary relationship. The relationship between the Karta and other Kopasanas is fiduciary. He must act in good faith, for the benefit of the family, and cannot prioritize his own interests over the joint family property. Role of the Karta. The Karta is the legal and social representative of the joint family and manages both its property and day-to-day affairs. He acts as a custodian of family assets, guardian of minor or dependent members, and central decision-maker for matters such as business, litigation, and religious, social functions. Legal position of the Karta. The Karta's position is sui generis, unique, of its own kind. He is not a partner, a principal, or a trustee in the strict legal sense, but embodies a blend of all these roles. He is not an agent. He does not work under the instructions of others. He is not a trustee. He is not required to save or invest money like a trustee. He can spend according to the family's needs. He is not a partner. His powers are far greater than those of a partner in a firm. He is the head, manager, and representative of the family. His authority is based on status, not contract. Key case law. CITV. Seth Govindram Sugar Mills recognized that the Karta's position is not that of a partner but of a manager with wider powers. Powers of the Karta. Karta's power to start a new business. The law makes a distinction here. Ancestral business. The Karta has full power to continue and manage a business inherited from ancestors. New business. A Karta cannot start a new business and risk the family's ancestral property without the consent of all other Kopasanas. If he does so without consent, the debt from that business will not be binding on the other members' shares. The Karta possesses vast powers to ensure the smooth functioning of the family. Power of management. He has full authority, absolute control over the family's affairs. He has full authority to run the family business, invest, and administer joint property. Subject to acting in the family's best interest, no member can interfere with his management style, unless it is fraudulent. Power over income and expenditure. The Karta receives all income from the family property. He is the sole judge of how much should be spent on maintenance, education, or marriage of members. Power of alienation. sale, mortgage, or gift, transfer of property. This is the most critical power. A Karta can sell, mortgage, or gift joint family property without the consent of other co-partners under 3 conditions. Legal necessity, avyavharika, for family survival, medical bills, or government taxes, benefit of the estate, for the protection or improvement of the family property. Indispensable duties, religious or charitable purposes, e.g., marriage, funeral, shraddh ceremonies. Alienation rules. If the Karta alienates property for legal necessity, it is binding on all co-partners. If he alienates it without legal necessity, the transaction is not void, but is voidable at the instance of the co-partners. If a co-partner chooses not to challenge the alienation, it becomes valid. Furthermore, a purchaser buying the property in good faith, believing the Karta has the right to sell for necessity, is protected under Section 35 of the Hindu Adoptions and Maintenance Act. 1956. Power to contract debts. He can take loans for legal necessity. Apad dharma. Family benefits. These debts are binding on all co-partners to the extent of their share in the property. Power to compromise. He can settle legal disputes or debts through compromise, provided it is done in good faith. Power to refer to arbitration. He can refer family disputes to an arbitrator. Karta represents the family in legal proceedings. Karta can sue or be sued on behalf of the family. Power to enter into contracts. The Karta can enter into contracts on behalf of the joint family for trade, business, or employment, provided the contracts are within the scope of the family's usual business or for the family's benefit. Power of partition. The Karta does not have the unilateral power to divide the joint family property among the members. Partition requires agreement or a court decree. However, he does have the power to demand a partition on his own behalf. Just like any other co-partner, once he demands a partition, he ceases to be the Karta for the separated share. Duties of the Karta. With great power comes responsibility. The Karta is bound by the following. Duty to render accounts. While he isn't a trustee, at the time of partition, he must provide an account of the family assets and liabilities. Duty to maintain. It is duty to maintain all members, including wives, widows, and minors, out of joint family funds. He must provide food, shelter, and clothing to every member of the joint Hindu family. Duty to administer property. To administer property honestly, keep accounts where necessary, and avoid personal enrichment at the family's expense. Duty of realization. He must realize, collect, debts and dues owed to the family. To act for the common good. If he misuses power or alienates property without justification, he may be personally liable or the transaction may be set aside. Fiduciary relationship. The relationship between the Karta and other co-partners is fiduciary. He must act in good faith, for the benefit of the family, and cannot prioritize his own interests over the joint family property. Liabilities of the Karta. The Karta's liability to be sued. The accountability gap. While the Karta has management powers, he is not a dictator. Suit for partition. Any co-partner dissatisfied with the Karta's management cannot sue him for damages, but they can sue for partition. This is the ultimate check on the Karta's power. Injunction. If a Karta is attempting to sell joint family property without legal necessity, a co-partner can go to court to seek an injunction, a stay order, to stop the sale, liability to pay taxes. He is personally responsible for the assessment and payment of family taxes, income tax, wealth tax, absolute liability to account. Because he controls the purse strings, the Karta has an absolute obligation to account for every rupee of the joint family estate if a co-partner demands it. If he misappropriates funds, he is personally liable to replace them. Personal liability for mismanagement. Usually, the Karta is not personally liable for family debts. Only the joint family property is liable. However, if he acts fraudulently, misappropriates funds, or contracts a debt for his personal benefit, not legal necessity, his separate, self-acquired property becomes liable to compensate the family. Liable for misappropriation, fraud, unauthorized transactions. Limitations of the Karta. No power of discretionary gift. The Karta cannot make a gift of joint family property out of natural love and affection to a stranger. He can only make limited gifts of small value, movable property, or specific religious gifts to daughters at their wedding, or to a son. Important case law. Hanumanpasa Pandey v. Musumat Babu, 1856, established that the Karta is a limited owner and can alienate property only for legal necessity or benefit of the estate. Chandrika Prasad v. State of Bihar, confirmed that the Karta's power of management is near absolute as long as it is for the family's welfare. Can a minor be a Karta? This is a common, short note, or twist, in long questions. General rule. A minor cannot be a Karta because they lack the legal capacity to contract. The exception. If all male members are minors, the court may appoint a guardian to manage the property, or the senior-most minor may act as Karta through a legal guardian. However, this is rare and usually happens when there is no other adult member. Conclusion. The Karta is the linchpin of the joint Hindu family system. The Karta is the pivot around which the joint Hindu family revolves. His role is fiduciary in nature, based on trust, while the law grants him extensive powers to alienate property and manage funds. These are balanced by his duties to provide for all members. With the 2005 amendment, the role has become gender neutral, reflecting the evolving social and legal landscape of modern India.